Okay, welcome to Carroll Cadillac, where I'm going to give you a very quick tutorial of how to put a water pump sill into the water body without it falling out on you. So, I'm going to explain it. I'm also going to explain a couple other things real quick so you don't make this mistake. These sills that are in the Northstar is not meant to have silicone used in any application at all. You don't use it in the Northstar. So on this particular water body, came off in El Dorado. Because this sill doesn't stay in for people when it's on the car, people have a tendency to want to go get some RTV and just flood this thing. There's a real serious issue with putting silicone inside of any of these areas at all. When you squeeze this silicone out, it beads up inside, whether it's behind the water pump or whether it's this cover, because somebody doesn't want to find the sill that is a replacement. What happens is the bead that squeezes into the inside will break off over time, usually sooner rather than later, and makes its way through the water body and through the system. You say, well, that shouldn't be much of a problem. One or two pieces might get stuck in the radiator. That's not what we're concerned about. What we are concerned about is this little valve sticking off the side of the lift bracket. This valve is what we call the steam pocket bleeder valve. And what this does is when the engine's hot and it's building up steam in the water body, it will come through this valve right here and it will head to the expansion tank, and it will relieve that so that the water can circulate. If this valve is plugged up, either from silicone or just from years and years of use, it's good to always make sure this is clean, because when this locks up, it will lock up the steam pocket. It will prevent the circulation of the water through the engine. So a lot of times cars are overheating after they've been repaired, and that's because somebody didn't clear this out. So remember, this on the water body is your bleeder valve, and if you ever try to look for it, that's what that is. But today what we're going to do is we're going to explain that I had to clean out the silicone here, so I used my pocket knife and I cleaned out the groove in the water body. Now this is where the sill seems to be so difficult to put in, and the reason that it's difficult to put in is it's just a micro smaller than the groove, which means you gotta kind of roll it in. Well, that's why it rolls back out. You do not roll the sill in. When you push it in there and it seems like it just got to stretch a little bit to get in there, it'll roll right back out, and it just seems impossible to put that in. So this is actually very, very simple. So I've got this water body up here on the bench, so it's vertical, and we're going to pretend, okay, this is in the car. And we're ready. I already got it cleaned up, so we're going to just get the water pump going. And all water pumps come with a new sill. It's not something you just can go out and buy separate. So, Junior!
Yeah.
Come here and hold this camera.
Alright.
So I can show how this is done, son.
Alright, man.
Alright, just kind of get it right there so you can see what I'm doing here. Very simple. So first we're going to show, and get up there, we're going to show how the sill is a little bit smaller. You see that? Can you see it? A little bit smaller. See that? So what people do is they want to roll that in. Well, let's see what happens. It rolled back out. So the way this is done, you just simply just put a little bit of pressure on it. You don't want to break the thing. Put a little pressure on it, stretch out a little bit, and then you put it back over the hole. And this time you'll see that it's actually the same size. What we're going to do is we're just going to hold it there a little bit. We're going to hold it until it shrinks and grabs. So what we've done is we have prevented the rolling effect in the groove. Voila! Simple as simple gets. So now it's there to stay. And what I've done is I stretch it out a little bit bigger, so it just relax there for a second, put it in, and let it just naturally come back together. And it will hug the inner groove. And you can see it's no longer rolling out. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put the new water pump. I'll be right back. I'm going to put some oil on this thing. Should have remembered the oil, Tim. Okay, so I got some oil. So what we're going to do, and this is important too, we don't want to take a surface here that's dry and clean, put it up against a dry piece of rubber, and twist it, because it has a tendency to want to turn the sill, and it could very well possibly come back out. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to take just a little drop of oil, put it on the back side of the water pump, so it will slip nice and gently around the sill. We'll go ahead and get this prepared. Okay, so counterclockwise is on with the Northstar water pump, so we got that ready. What we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to look for the smallest gap between these tabs here, and in this case all these are equal, but this one up here is going to be the tab that's closest together. Now if you take a look at the water pump, you got one tab right here that's smaller than the rest, and it actually doesn't have a tab on the end of the tab, so that's the one we're going to place in that hole. Now on the back side, I'm going to grab the back of the water pump as it's coming in. I'm going to gently place that up against the sill. It's not going to rub the sill out, and we're just going to get it started. The lowest part of the tabs will sit gently behind the body tabs, and at that point we got our hand on the back side of the pump holding it in. We're not going to allow this to jerk it around and let it fall and push it back in. I'm keeping it tight with my left hand. So we'll just turn it until it locks into place, and as soon as I get it locked, I go ahead and get it started with a little bit of pressure. And then from there, I'll take and I'll just tap it down. Now I don't want to go too far, so I'm going to take it out and look. Looks like I'm about halfway. About 3/4. So once you get to the tabs, it'll be kind of difficult to know if you're going a little too far. Ain't no reason to use no breaker bar or nothing. Just gently tap it down, and there you can see the tabs are coming real close to the back there. As soon as they touch, we're done, and we're done. So you can see in there, all the little tabs that are bent up are touching the tabs that are in the water body. And at that point, we got a perfect sill. And this is how you do it perfectly every time. There's no reason to try to fight that sill. Make sure that the water body's cleaned out nice and dry with no oil substance at all. Don't get any oil on the sill. Stretch it a little bit. Hold it so it'll relax slowly. Let go. Put it in there and then gently hold it as it shrinks into the groove and grabs the inner ring, and let go. You're done. Put oil on the back of the water pump. Use the back of the pump to hold it in. Put the smallest tab in the smallest area you see in the pump. Put it in. Put your tool in. Get it barely started, and then gently tap it into place, and you'll have a perfect set water pump every time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps all those people out there who call me all the time. Y'all have a great day.